Disability Rights Montana, protecting and advocating for the rights of people with disabilities. We sat down with Carroll College student Taylor Tyson to learn about her experience as a student with a disability. How has the inaccessibility of Carroll College's campus affected your experience?
Hey, so my name's Taylor Tyson, and I'm a junior here at Carroll. I'm originally from Texas, so coming from Texas to Montana winters was a little bit of a struggle. One of the things that happened to me my freshman year is I was walking down one of the walkways after a night class, and I slipped on some ice that hadn't been maintained. I ended up re-injuring an injury that I had from high school. And it made, after the few weeks afterwards, my mobility was decreased, and it got to the point where I couldn't go up and visit friends who were on upper floors in different buildings because those buildings didn't have elevators that I had access to. So visiting friends on the third or the fourth floor of these really tall buildings was hard for me to do. So sometimes we could make arrangements, and sometimes we couldn't, and I wasn't able to hang out with my friends.
How has the inaccessibility of campus affected you as a student?
Another thing that happened to me was I had a classroom in the fourth floor of Zimmerman, and the only elevator I had was a service elevator that was out of service. And so I warned my professor, by the way, I have limited mobility, so it's a little harder for me to get up there. And my professor was really accommodating, but it was just hard that my professor had to be accommodating and that I had to be a few minutes late to class every day.
How has the inaccessibility of campus affected your life outside of class?
As far as living arrangements go, I didn't want to live in this building, Charlie's, with these really tall stairs, and that's where all the sophomores were supposed to go. So my freshman year, I had to go and I had to apply for a different room that had access to better elevators or lower floors. And part of that process involved me having to get a doctor's note. And instead of being able to get a note from the school nurse, which was in the same building that I was currently living in, I had to actually go see a doctor in Helena, which was hard for me since I was a freshman and I didn't have a car. So I had to find someone to drive me there and go in and work out my insurance. And it was just this whole big process just for me to get a room that I was able to enter.
Would you have considered a different college if you had been aware of the accessibility issues on campus?
Coming from Texas, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into as far as Montana winters were concerned. And especially since Carroll didn't maintain their walkways, I think if I had known that in hindsight, especially knowing that it would have been injured my freshman year, I wouldn't have come and I would have gone somewhere a little warmer or that maintained their stairways better and stuff. It wasn't even a question that occurred to me to answer or to ask.
How has the inaccessibility of campus affected your social life?
Yeah, there are a few times, especially if I was visiting friends in other dorms, Charlie's that I was talking about earlier. If everyone was having a party on the fourth floor and hanging out, I would have to go up all those stairs, and sometimes I couldn't, especially after my injury. And it's hard to move an entire group of people, or if they had games set up and stuff, all the way down to where I was. So there are a few times I missed hanging out with friends, or I just wasn't able to casually pop up and say hi to my friend because it wasn't worth the effort of me going up those stairs.
How have you had to adjust your life to accommodate for the inaccessibility of campus?
Yeah, all of the different stairs in the hills, especially Wallet Hill, made getting to classes rough, or I'd have to time my schedule better, so I couldn't just pop downstairs to my room to grab books or something. I'd have to make sure I had everything with me for an entire day. That way I just wasn't tiring myself out going up and down stairs or back and forth to my room.
Carroll College, let's work together to make your community a more accessible and inclusive environment. Disability Rights Montana.